I'm David Reed, and this is The Engine Room. Hello, and welcome back to Engine Room. Today we have a very special guest, Chelsea Powers.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So, Chelsea, where were you born? Where are you from?
So I was originally born in Canada, grew
Where?
up in Alberta, Calgary.
You were at Calgary, like it was in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look
Yeah,
at that.
Calgary, Alberta. So
Flames.
absolutely, Flames versus Oilers, right? The
You
battle.
got no choice. You got no choice. Like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you grew up in the cold.
Yes.
Not always, but generally.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
A lot of the
definitely a
year.
good 6+ months of cold weather up there.
Yeah.
So
So what's life like growing up in Calgary?
it's good. Good. You know, my parents and I had a sister up there, and you know, we lived in Calgary, and I went to school at the University of Calgary there as well.
Did you?
So stayed in Calgary my whole
Good
life.
people. I always hear everyone who's lived there is just like loves the people.
Yeah. No, I think Canadians, there's always a different culture a little bit. I think in Canada too, just of helping one another and having a sense of community. And so,
True.
yeah.
I once pulled a guy. He was a Texan, but I pulled him down out of Calgary, and he never stopped complaining because he just loved it.
Just
Loved
the
it up there.
change.
Just the
Yeah.
people up there and
Yeah.
outdoors.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah. No, we used to, I know pastime kind of as a kid, we had a cabin. So definitely spend a lot of time weekends outdoorsy at the lake in the cabin, enjoying that kind of
Like
activities.
Lake Louise. No.
A little bit. We were in British Columbia, so we kind of ventured to the other province.
It's so
over there.
beautiful.
It
I
is.
think not everyone knows that if they
Yeah.
haven't been there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Going west is quite something.
Yeah.
East.
Well, it's pretty too. If you
Is
go
it?
far enough east, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so
Very
much to
good.
explore.
A lot of outdoors.
Yeah, some outdoors time, and
What did you like to do as a kid?
I'd say I ventured into I was into music quite a bit. So I played the piano. I dabbled a little bit with guitar and
Oh.
choir. So some of that stuff I was into
Played
music.
in a rock band,
I didn't. No, a little bit
No.
of school,
but like
but
like classical.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I did some of that.
Good to know.
Oh, yeah,
I'm thinking there's an event. We used to have a guy who's a piano player, and
yeah.
he'd like sit and play for a while when we were at customer events and stuff. It was
Yeah.
kind of nice. So you could do that. You could just pick up and play.
It's been a few years. It's been a minute.
Mhm.
So
You have a piano at home, though.
not anymore. No,
Wow.
can't say that I do.
That's pretty serious exit from growing up playing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I played for quite a few years, and then I think just school and life and
Life,
working, and
yeah,
you kind
I
of
get
evolve
that.
into other hobbies and interests, and
So just younger,
Kinda let
just
it go.
younger years. Was that
Yeah.
were your parents pushing you into like do music, or were you like choosing it?
I think I
like,
chose it actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you liked
no, I liked it. I wanted to kind of get into new things. As little kids, I think you try everything. You try ballet, you try tap.
Yeah.
As girls, and I got into soccer and did some of
Mm.
that stuff and piano, and I think just more interested in the
The
creative
was
music
the
side.
style.
Yeah. So
Interesting. So was that for many years, or did you stop? What age did you stop? doing
I'd
that?
say
Did that-
probably like when I got near high school, I kind
Okay.
of stopped, phased out of that, and got into other things.
Yeah, got into
Any
trouble.
clubs or activities at high school, and then
Oh, okay.
going forward into university. So
Okay.
yeah.
So university, you were in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
What did you study?
So I up there, Bachelor of Commerce, and I was in operations management. So kind of right where I ended up. I
You
kind
just-
of
you
figured
knew
out
it
what I
and you picked
liked.
it.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I
Not
think
common
no,
for someone
absolutely
to
not.
hit it right.
Yeah. And I think though, like as I was at school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew
Yeah.
I didn't want to do something that was a repeat, like necessarily an accounting job or something where it was. I didn't want to have the same day over and
you like
over
the
again.
Challenge.
Yeah, I like to challenge. I like some variety, diversity in what I was doing. So I think it actually took me right till my last year until I was like, that's the job. That's what I want to do.
Really?
So, and I ended up, it was project management that really kind of drew me to it. I think just, I liked the
So
idea of,
Were you around something that helped you to come to that conclusion?
I think just the coursework that I was doing.
Yeah.
I think the coursework that I was on and just kind of planning, scheduling, organizing. I like to have things in order and then just kind of from paper to construction. And I just kind of love to see building things. So that's really where I was like, yeah, I could do this. I could enjoy this. I like corralling people around a common goal and a direction of what we need to get to. So that's kind of where I was like, yeah. So then it was.
What did your parents do?
So my dad was in the automotive industry, so he was a part of that. And then my mom, she was at home with us until we got old enough, and then she got into the medical industry. So my parents, they didn't have university degrees or anything like that. I think I was kind of the first one that went through school and figured out what I wanted to do, and they're like, well, it's great. So they supported,
Nice.
obviously what path I wanted to go, and yeah, so...
Very cool.
And then in Western Canada, there's not as much manufacturing,
Yeah.
right? So kind of as you're finishing school too, trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do? What industry am I going to find, right? There's definitely some construction out there, but there wasn't a lot of manufacturing. So when you start looking automotive manufacturing or stuff, because that's what my dad pulled me into, right? Like, you need to know how to fix your car. You need to know how to change your brakes. You need to change your oil. Like,
All right.
he wanted to make
Well
sure
done, Dad.
mechanically I could, take care of myself. One day, I'm not going to be there to do it for you. So if you're
Don't want you
stuck
to
on the...
rely on anybody.
Exactly.
That's good.
You
Good
know.
training.
Yeah. So I
like
think it's piecing all that together
Yeah.
a little bit is kind of what helped me figure out where I wanted to go.
Very cool. So first job out of college, did you work before that?
So, I worked part-time when I was in school, and then I think right when I finished finishing university, I had worked with a brewery, Molson Brewery, at the time up there.
Molson,
yes,
too.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Pretty great job to have during university and finishing,
it's like make
everybody
friends.
loves free beer and free stuff. So best job for anybody that's at school if you want to do that. So
So you went straight into Molson then? So
I did that. Yeah, so I did that at first.
Or you were doing that during college?
During college.
And then stayed with it?
And then I stayed with it shortly when I finished. And then I was still at the university and, trying to figure out what I was going to do. I wanted to find a career, Tried to dabble if there was anything in that industry for me. But from a project management perspective, I did some of their marketing events and I was involved with some of that, but it wasn't really everything that I really wanted to do. So that's where I was introduced to NOV at the university, starting to interviewing students. At that time, it was in 2005, and it was right at the time of the merger between National Oil Well and Varco.
Yeah.
And they were doing interviews at the university for the Next Gen program.
Oh.
And so
You were a Next Gen.
I wasn't, actually.
Okay. You're
so
like, I don't need that rubbish. Put me in operations.
well, and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to be a project manager, and do you guys
So
need that? And they're like,
yeah.
yeah. And I said, yeah, okay, I'd consider Next Gen, but I'm like, I want to do project management.
I love that. I love that you had you felt it like this is where I'm going.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So, so at the time, I interviewed with some folks for the Next Gen program so they could feel me out and see if it was a good deal. And then I met with some of the local management at the Calgary facilities. There was a couple facilities at the time.
Okay. What would they be?
So there was the high-tech facility that we had on the National Oil Well side, and then there was the Hydro Rig facility with the Varco side. So,
So
it was...
which one won?
So, and that's the thing, like at that time, I think,
What do you like?
I met with both sides, right? And then it was like, well, our leadership's changing. We're going through a little bit of this, so we're not really sure what's going on. So now you got to go meet with these people. So, but as, I was persistent.
That was high-tech side saying that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That, I'm guessing. Because it was a smaller shop.
Yes.
I mean, Hydrig was Braden, right? The old
Yep.
Braden
Yeah,
facility.
correct.
Yeah, and that
It
was a fair,
was.
decent-sized
It was.
lot going on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I ended up kind of, well, can I interview? Can I meet with the other manager too? So ended up meeting with the Varco side and had an interview with them and really
Tom?
tried Tom Hewitt.
That was my
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Too good a person.
Yeah. No, he was a great
That
mentor.
ruins
And
it.
first introduction really to NOV was
Great
meeting
guy.
Tom.
Really great guy.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. No one says anything but good things. I just made that up. But no,
Yeah.
he's a good guy. That's good.
Yeah.
Got my first Hydro Rig hockey shirt from him. Or
I
jersey
bet.
or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
You know
No.
what he's like.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you started in that
Yes.
facility.
Yeah. So I started in Calgary at the Hydro Rig facility once
Very
I
cool.
talked to them to let me stay because they're like, oh, we're going through an acquisition and we may not have a job for you, but they said,
That's so funny, isn't it?
we're moving and so we'll see. And I'm like, well, will you give me a chance? Let me try. Let me see if I can prove myself. And
So you met them and you're like, I like these people.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, and I liked the work and I liked what they
Yeah.
did. So
They're making stuff. You
Yeah.
gotta love that.
yeah, I loved it. And I was like, every day you could learn something new.
Right.
And I just dabbled in everything from capital equipment to
And they had
service
a range.
and
They had a range of stuff going on in the
yeah,
plant. So
they did.
yeah.
Because they were doing nitrogen and then they were doing some coil tubing at the time. And then they were obviously consolidating a handful of products because they had snubbing equipment up there. And so
Very cool.
it was really
Yeah.
interesting. So yeah, I worked with the Hydrig Calgary group for 12 years.
12 years.
12 years up there.
All the same job now.
No,
So
I
how-
moved
what was
all
that
through
progression
operations
like?
stuff.
A
Yeah.
lot of different jobs. Did you start as project manager, or is
Yeah.
that because you wanted to do it?
Yeah. No, I started as project manager and stuck with that for a while and, planning, scheduling, and
Yeah.
eventually got introduced into the shop and kind of ran the assembly shop there.
Oh,
So
did
worked
ya?
with all the trades and
Too cool.
it was great. It was definitely a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm kind of enjoying this, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'll try and work with a broader group and have employees because, it's such a difference to indirectly
different.
influence people
Mm-hmm.
versus having to now manage them. And all these people that were your friends that you were able to talk in to get these projects done on time. Now it's
Right.
like you're hearing, all the situations, all the challenges. So it was definitely a great experience.
Very, very different. Yeah.
So.
That's cool. And so you progressed. You end up. What was the end of those 12 years? You go from
Yeah.
project management.
So we had a few acquisitions up there.
Yeah.
We merged with Enerflow up there at one
Right.
time too.
Yeah.
So then that opened up like an operations manager role
Hmm.
for me, and I did that for several years. And then
did they consolidate buildings?
we did, yeah. So we ended
Yeah.
up growing and consolidating, and so there was quite a bit of change, which I think was really great about the culture up there. We dealt with a lot of change. Every few years there was something going on that we had to.
They were even. I remember the acquisition of Braden, and just I was excited because they did so many different
Yeah.
things. But they were very flexible,
Yes.
and I like that.
Great team, very open, and yeah. So few acquisitions and kind of worked my way up, continuing working with operations side of it. And then in 2017, there was an opportunity to, with our head office of Hydrig, which is in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
So they had an opening there for a general manager, which is like a plant manager, so overseeing the whole plant there. So I was kind of at the top of where I was going to be for several years in Calgary,
Yeah.
and kind of said, hey, I might be interested in this. And at the time I was married, my husband and I, it was just the two of us, and we're like, well, we might be interested to relocate and go to another country and learn a new
Sure.
culture and try new
Yeah.
opportunities.
Try and learn the
So
language.
exactly, the Texan, the
Fort
Texan,
Worth.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then I had the opportunity. I interviewed for that and ended up moving south.
Yeah.
So really, I never complain about the winter when I'm down here.
No.
Don't have to shovel snow.
Yes. You have to have lived in it to understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is pretty intense.
Yeah. Waking up
So-
and shoveling your car out of the garage gets a little tiresome after many years of it. So
Learning how to walk on ice, I had to do that up there. I was surprised that was a thing.
the
that-
shuffle,
Yes.
Yeah.
And
the penguin shuffle.
Yes, and I
yeah.
was,
Gotta be
that's so
careful.
weird. I was watching going, because I haven't seen that anywhere else really, this shuffling on ice thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it exists, but I just haven't, maybe it's just there, I don't know. There
Yeah.
is a shuffle.
For sure. Yeah. Gotta be careful.
Crazy.
But yeah.
I've not heard someone describe it. I've seen it and I've just gone, okay, I guess this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Trying to survive on ice.
Yeah.
It's the same as cars learning to slide into snowbanks. And a lot of things you start seeing going, wow.
Yeah.
this
And I don't
is-
miss it.
Yeah.
I don't miss that part
Yeah.
for sure.
There's people love
It's
it.
tough.
There's people love it.
Yeah.
Like I'm the same. I like visiting it.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
Nice to
Very
visit.
beautiful to visit.
And I have a brother outside of Toronto, west of Toronto. Toronto, I should say. But,
Tirana.
whatever. But yeah, that's. I think he likes coming down here, and getting like he wants to go to the beach and in the
Yeah,
water
thaw.
in the winter because you can,
Mm-hmm.
because it gets long. I think
Yeah.
that's the hard part. It's a long winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the days are darker, right? They're shorter up there
Mhm.
quite a bit more, so it's definitely tolling.
So you were immediately like, I like this when you came down.
Yes. Yeah, the weather
Even
was
the
great. I've adjusted.
Yeah.
You really do climatize. You
You
do
do.
get used to it for sure.
I think I was surprised that I go to hot climates without the moisture, and I'm like,
Not
too
so
dry.
Bad. Not so bad.
No, I just like it's years of conditioning. I
Yeah.
think you just get used to the weather. But yeah, that's interesting. So Fort Worth, cool. And that's also got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So similar products. You understand
Yeah.
the products, but different culture, different.
Absolutely. And I think that was the biggest shock for me too.
Yeah.
Was we built the same thing,
Right.
but how we got there and produced it
Mm,
was completely different roadmaps.
it really
And
is.
it was, I think for me, just from a cultural perspective, just
Mm-hmm.
how different the two locations were and just how they did or didn't work together as
Right.
smoothly as it was. And so it took quite a bit for us to kind of help make some good impact there. You know, we had at the time a lot of competitor pressures up there, and we really needed to kind of get our things
Mm-hmm. But
sorted
that is
out.
Calgary too. I mean, there's an element of it always feels to me a little bit startup-ish everywhere. Like they're just everyone's agile.
Sure.
Everyone's got that feeling of
Yeah.
and also innovative. People are naturally like looking for ways to get things done.
Yeah.
Whereas then you move to the main Hydro-Rig facility, which was the hub.
And a
for
lot of
long
legacy
time.
there and a lot
A
of
lot
tenure.
of legacy and a lot of success over many years. So they don't have that same intensity. They just
Correct.
have, I mean, I don't know, it was decades, I think, of where we were just like, leave it be, it's doing great.
Yeah.
You know, not
Yeah.
a lot of change.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had a lot of consistent customers and we were order takers, you know,
Right.
like we had a great product. It was very reliable and everyone just ordered. So it was like, what? We have to go get orders now
Yeah.
and we got to change our design. And so
Any
there
change,
was,
right? Because I remember, I think when we, gosh, I can't remember the years now. Tuboscope bought Barco, and I had a call tube opportunity. Went up there and had a conversation, and it blew my mind. They're no, you want to do something special? No, we don't do that. We did it once.
yeah.
It was horrible. We're not going to do it. And I was like, how can that work for business?
Yeah.
But it did. I mean,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
For a long time.
For a long
was
time.
really
And
great.
that was the approach. We just went, as a company, I know from the Barco days, we'd be like, we'd love them to change, but they're making money.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
they're good in their business. So don't mess with it if it's working.
Yeah.
And you're turning up and everything's starting to change.
When we needed to. We needed
Yeah.
some change there. So I think,
Were you the
know,
change engine? Were they like,
yeah.
you're the
I-
troublemaker?
A little
Like,
bit, you know.
Here she
I
comes
think,
with her change ideas again.
yeah. Well, and I think it was a shock to the system. You know, this
Yeah.
female comes in and she's running
Yeah.
the show, and it's
Not a lot of females in the operation there.
not too much. Well, in
Not
a
a
lot of
lot.
our operations at NOV, there's
It's
not
true.
a lot of females that are in the
Yeah.
leadership. So it's definitely something to.
It's different for people.
Yeah. So definitely kind of questioned of who are you, how long have you, what do you know, and
Yeah.
how can you do this? And
What's
so
this about?
it's definitely building a lot of trust and
Yeah.
really trying to make sure.
Was that different in Canada? Were they more open up there, or was it just the same?
I would say, I think the timing of really when I joined the organization, I think kind of going out to the shop floor and some of the reactions you received, I think when I first started.
Yeah.
But I think with anything, right, it takes time to get to know people and to understand really, as you move up the organization and in a leadership role and building that trust and making sure that you're listening to employees and giving that feedback and that we're actually on the same teams and you're there to support them. So I think it just takes time. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of similar probably as I've moved into every group and
Yeah.
because we did so much change in Calgary, right, with acquisitions. So it was always
Things
a new
were
team.
changing,
And yeah,
and then you went to an environment where things had not changed.
exactly. And so it was really trying to spur that change and
Yeah.
challenge them.
Getting
and it's,
people to want it.
yeah, and it definitely it took a little bit for us to
Yeah.
do it, and I think we really had some hard conversations. And it's like, guys, these are the challenges, and if we want to change these, this is what we as a group have to do.
Yeah.
And I know we had some really good conversations, and made some changes of our team, and really turned that culture around significantly. I would say from where it was several years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
So it was great. It's great to see kind
Hard
of
and fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think I like that. I like everywhere I've gone, there's been different things. Sometimes you're going in a culture you can't change, and you're like, okay, but then there's other times you can get things done. But I was often moving around, and so you definitely come across things, and it's a new challenge, new culture. How on earth are we going to get people to see this differently? And it's usually because the market's changing that you can get people there.
help buy in some of that urgency, right,
Yeah.
of why, making everyone understand. Yeah.
But I had one experience of a long, deep culture coming in, and I know that's a really, because everyone's on the same page
Yeah.
of we're okay.
And if you've felt it or been a part of that, that's just what you want to keep creating.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to build, and you want the employee base to feel that and be a part of that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's engaged, and we trust one another, and we're helping one another and troubleshooting, and it's just so much more enjoyable and efficient as an organization. So
It's people. You just have to work out where everyone's heart's at and then go, okay, I got to lead towards this, you know.
yeah,
That's cool.
so
Yeah. Fun. And so you were
it's very fun.
you were Fort Worth how long?
So I was there for 5 years.
Okay.
So then in 2022, there was an opportunity to, do you want to learn a different product? Do you want to switch gears? Because I
You're
was
like,
with the high.
absolutely.
Well, it was a hard choice, right? 17 years with one product group. And I'm
That's
like,
a lot.
I'm leaving a family. I'm like, I've worked
Yeah.
with these individuals for so long, but, you know, that was the good challenge was, well, can you prove yourself with a different group? And can you prove yourself with a different
Is it
leadership
possible?
team? You know, and I was like,
That's good.
okay, I'll take that.
It's a
That challenge. So
Yeah, because I think I know that a lot of people thought you should not move because you're in. This is your groove. Like
Yeah.
this is your thing,
it was tough.
and you have to leave behind all your knowledge. Not all of it.
No.
It's not fair, but a lot of deep
Everything you're
knowledge.
comfortable with, right? Like everything. So it's, but
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? Why not? What's tying me here? And I'm a big believer of like how I leave a position or a facility or a group. You know, I want to leave them in a better shape that I'm in.
Sure.
But I absolutely think that who's coming in my shoes, they got great ideas that I probably didn't think of or weren't my
Change is
priorities.
always okay.
Yeah.
Like it's good for us. It's not. I
Exactly.
think most human beings would like no change. Not no change, but that are limited. We like to have at least we understand what's happening all the time, and so probably early on that you were having a lot of things changing. You were getting into the groove of this is life and things
Yeah.
change and
Well, in NOV, I think we're always changing.
always moving.
And if we're not comfortable with it, we better figure out how to get comfortable with it. So.
And I think it is a little bit of patience can help because if you're ever like, well, something different would be good. It's coming. Don't worry. Different opportunities.
Yeah.
So you moved from cold tubing to
Fiberglass systems.
fiberglass systems.
So
Nothing like
not
coiled
even
tubing.
comparable. Nothing even close. To
Almost
it. Nah.
nothing.
Night and day.
Machines different, business different,
All this
materials
engineer,
different.
engineer to order, long build cycles, huge bill of materials, all this, whole project management world that I was a part of that I really liked. And now I've kind of gone to a lot more manufacture to order, streamlined manufacturing processes. So, but that's kind of the root of what I went to school for, and some of that challenges and stuff that I really liked, and trying to focus on lean and efficiencies and what improvements we can find. So I'm like, ooh, look at this! Like,
Yeah.
I don't have all these variables anymore. How can we make some real good impact and changes? So.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So you're, which was it a part of Fiberglass Systems? What's the role?
Yeah, so
you
when
moved
I first joined, I was actually working with our FiberSpar, our Houston facility. So that's our
Yeah, you went to
spoolable
very,
pipe,
very
which is
cool.
really neat. Beautiful facility that
It
we
is.
have.
It's one of the most in the
Yeah.
Fiberglass Systems group.
Yeah, Yeah.
You're spoiled a bit.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's a pretty
highly
good one.
automated. I will say highly. I mean, they still put buckets on
compared to
top
some of our
machines.
that's
That's the-
phasing out. That's phasing
Is it
out.
okay?
But
Because
yes.
that's the thing. You go.
Yeah.
Everything looks.
Come
but What
on.
is this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, see,
definitely.
you always got to have something to
It's
improve.
always got something to improve. But yeah, what a fantastic facility and
Yeah.
multiplying, which is great.
Yeah.
So you were in FiberSpar, the
Yes.
facility.
So that's how I
of
kind of
520.
got first introduced a little bit to fiberglass systems. And
Nice.
then as we had some retirements, there was some opportunities. So I started working with, I think, 4 facilities.
Oh,
and then,
'cause one's not enough.
Right. Yeah. So I learned
Give
a
it-
few
give you
more of
4.
our products, which
It's
is
not
great.
Here's 2, like here's
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. So
That's intense and very different, right? So their
It was.
facilities will be doing different work.
it was. And then we had some more changes come through, right? Just
so
wait.
help me with the 4. We're
Okay.
rushing ahead, and my head's not there. So
That's
what
okay.
are the 4 facilities?
So it's evolved since then, but it was 4 facilities, and
Okay.
now it's 10 facilities.
Okay, but what?
But
are
it
they?
started
so
with-
you're doing pipe. You're doing
So we had-
FiberSpar.
Correct. So yeah, I had the spoolable pipe, I had the jointed pipe, and then I had some of our tank and environmental flow products
Okay,
under me. So
that world, which
quite a
is
range
new.
of products.
Wow.
Yeah, and then last year we had some other changes with our president retiring, and so some new
Big
faces and new
change.
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've been through that before with HydroRig for this
Yeah.
big change.
yeah. but it was good. And I think just another set of eyes having a little look of how were we really organized and did this make the most sense. So we reshuffled last year a little bit, and so now I'm working with all of our tank facilities, so our storage solution group.
Oh,
so
all over. So you're on a plane a fair bit.
can be, yes. So we're over all the below ground storage tanks and the above ground storage tanks, plus water and environmental flow products. So
Well, now that is
great.
a range.
yeah,
Very cool.
keeps me out of trouble.
Keeps you in trouble. That's a lot of. Well, I guess there's a point where it's not steep learning as much as it is, knowing how you adapt and deal with different situations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to know everything at this point. You have to know enough
Mm-hmm.
to help the operations.
Well, and we're really going through, so we have two acquisitions that joined NOV. So one joined us in 2019 from the Denali Group,
Yeah.
and then the second one is our LFM acquisition that joined us in 2022. And I think the timing with COVID, and I think just how we did have our leadership structure set up,
Yeah.
and we're all going through one NOV now and systems, and so it's really a great time to get us more aligned
Yeah.
with our part numbers, our procedures, our processes. So
The
we're
stuff
really
people don't like.
working through a lot of
Like,
that.
it's painful, but it does help.
Yeah. So
Wow.
trying to get everybody on the same page there. So
So states, we're talking. Where are all the facilities? So Washington.
we're coast to coast. Yeah, we're Washington State all the way over to Pennsylvania, down to Georgia, Alabama, California, Oklahoma, Texas,
Where in California?
Mississippi, Bakersfield, California.
Oh, okay.
We have one. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
That
a
was
little.
one I didn't place, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of all over.
And
Which-
the type
yeah.
of products ranging. I mean, it's not just fuel handling. But now you're in
No.
any.
So yeah, 4 of them are fuel handling facilities. So those are
Uh-huh.
the below ground.
So not everyone knows this.
Okay.
So, what is that?
The fuel handling tanks.
Yeah.
So it's really the storage for gas and fuel at the gas stations.
So not
So-
everyone knows we do gas stations.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite little.
It's pretty neat.
Guess what?
You know what? And I didn't know that when I joined
Yeah. People
Fiberglass,
don't
and I
know.
was like, "What? We do this?
Yeah, I mean Buc-ee's
Yeah.
is my favorite one, but
Working on it, right?" But yeah, and I think just fiberglass is such a unique part of NOV in that we work with so many different industries.
Right.
We're not just oil and gas. We
and
do
probably swung,
quite a bit
I would
more.
have said, because there was a lot of oil and gas at one point, and then
Yeah.
strategically swinging over into more spaces
Yeah.
that are different.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work over the last 10 years to really diversify the group and to
Yeah.
add products to the group. And so it's really neat how much municipalities we're working with and
Yeah.
businesses and a lot of, projects out there getting involved with lithium projects,
know,
data
right?
centers. There's so much, which is so neat to see what we're a part of. And I think it's just continuing to educate our employees too, right? Because they don't know
Yeah.
where's all these products go, how is this stuff being used, and letting them know
And
that.
I
It's
find
pretty
that
neat.
I've been surprised. Like I think when we were looking at just general energy transition stuff and like, managing CO2, do we do that? And people would be like, well, we sell pipe, but I don't know who to. Like, here's the spec.
Right.
And so you did a bit of homework. You're like, oh, no, we're doing a lot of that. That's
Yeah.
really important to understand.
Yeah.
Is the markets that we're in. And and we're all over the place. So fiberglass is always. I know I was on a drilling rig with a team, and I just said, before we move any further, everyone look above your head. Here's some black pipe. And I'm like, somewhere along this piece of pipe, we're going to find an FGS. And they're like, what are you saying? Like, this is us. And most vessels you're going to find, Bond Strand, so it's not
Yes.
it's not in your, I don't think you're doing Bond Strand. are
I'm
you?
not. No,
yeah,
the
so,
tubular side's
yeah.
a different group, but yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it was just a nice moment of
It's neat.
understanding. You can find fiberglass systems all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of applications.
Yeah, and I
So.
think most people don't know tanks at all. I think people knew pipe products, but and it's not just fiberglass. Is that true? Am I saying something that's
Correct.
accurate?
Yeah. So we actually do have steel storage tanks as well for.
In our fiberglass systems business.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell it.
I know.
It's a big
Wow.
secret.
Those were our above ground
Oh,
storage,
yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah,
So.
a lot of containment stuff.
hmm
Very cool. So how long have you been doing that? Are you're still doing that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I was making
yeah.
an assumption. But
So with all the storage solution group, it's been just over a year
yeah,
that we've been together as a team and just really setting everything up and
yeah,
trying to make some good impact. So
cool. Driving
It's good.
change.
every day.
That's your book. That's cool. That's really great. What a great story. Advice for people kind of in their careers? Your thoughts?
I think a big thing is being open.
Mm.
Being open to what opportunities do come up. Don't pigeonhole yourself, I think, into a certain role. Like, I think as there was more coming along and just being open to it and trying it out. You know, I think if we get stuck in our ways, we really can't learn as much and grow as much. And I think there's so much out there that you could learn something every day at NOV. And I think that people want to share and transfer that knowledge. And, you know, I think that if you want to look at a different group, and I think that's what's kind of really unique about Houston, too. There's so many facilities here that employees really do move a little bit more between some of the business groups. I know when you start looking at some of our other remote locations, you might not have that same luxury, right? Employees are always wanting to know, well, where can I go? What can I do? And it's like, well, we do have all of these internal postings, but you may have to be open to relocating somewhere if you do want to grow. And that isn't always okay for everybody, right? We all have different routes and where we are, and if we can do that.
And I like that it's not required. We don't make people move, but the opportunity does exist.
And I think for some of it, like I know for us, we have such a broad footprint of facilities. So there are certain opportunities in working with multiple locations. So we do have some of that. So we really do try to see what we can do to develop within and try to move people within and give opportunities that way. So, you know, I think it's being open and having a look and having those conversations, right? You know, I think that's a big thing that we're all trying to focus on here at NOV is making sure we're having those employee conversations and knowing who wants to move, who wants to go where.
Right.
What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? And how can we
That's a good
help
point.
foster it?
People aren't mind readers. So some people are happy, like I'm just going to be where I am.
Yeah.
But if you want to do more, let people know. That's good. Do you have any personal life or no? Well, is that a no?
No, I do.
Okay,
I
you
do.
do. What do you like to do with your time?
On my spare time, so my husband and I are both here in Houston. Big animal lover. I have a dog. I have 2 cats.
Nice.
So definitely spend some time there. I do some cycling. So I have been a part of our NOV cycling team on both sides of the border. We've done.
That's right. It really was strong up in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, we were strong here, and then we kind of shrunk down and stopped,
Right.
and then back.
Yeah.
But I think Canada never stopped, and
No.
it's Tom's fault.
He's
That's
pretty
what I say.
consistent. He's very passionate. So
I like
think
it. I like that.
we
I
got
like
some-
that giving back stuff. It's just a good thing.
I think getting involved with the community, but I think also getting our employees out there. You know, I think there's just so much. We're so much, you know, day to day in the office. You really don't get a chance to know people personally and what are their stories. So I think that's been pretty great. So done some cycling and enjoying that too with the groups.
And
So
wonderful Texas weather.
yeah, exactly.
It's something you have to want to do.
Yeah. Great way
Very
to
cool.
see the country though, for
True,
sure. You know,
True.
but yeah. Otherwise, you know, travel and you know, just taking it in. We're enjoying
Very
it.
cool.
So
Love it.
it's been good.
Good. Well, thank you for coming on. That's the show. So
Well, thanks for having me.
you made it. Wasn't so bad. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. And so we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.